Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're going to break down the anatomy of a stock's absolutely wild ride. I'm talking about a stock that shot up over 1,000% in just 3 months. So we're going to dig into the technical report to really understand what's going on when a chart goes, well, completely vertical like this.
So just imagine for a second. You open up your portfolio and you see a number like this next to one of your stocks. Yeah, a gain of over 1,000%. This is exactly the kind of explosive, just parabolic growth we're talking about, and it all happened in just a few short months.
Okay, so to put that into perspective, you're looking at a jump from just 15 cents a share back in July all the way to almost $2 by October. I mean, that's a move that seems to defy gravity, right? It just begs for a closer look.
So what's the data really telling us here? You see, behind this amazing chart, there's a story of just extreme momentum, but it's clashing with equally extreme warning signs. So let's unpack it.
All right, so let's start by mapping out exactly how we got to this point. Because you know, a move this massive is never just a straight line up. This one's had some serious twists and turns.
It all kicked off with this initial blast off during the summer, where it hit 80 cents. Then things cooled off a bit in September. The stock kind of just bounced around for a while. And then, boom, October hits, the afterburners kick in, and it just launches to this absolutely massive, unprecedented new high.
Now, why would anyone jump on a rocket that's already in flight? So let's take a look at the technical signals that are just screaming bullish and see what's actually fueling all this incredible optimism.
Okay, first off, just look at the sheer amount of interest we're talking about. At its peak, the trading volume absolutely exploded to over 692 million shares, changing hands in a single day. That is a huge amount of attention and activity. It's a massive signal of intense speculative interest.
Now, this is where it gets really interesting, because the data really shows you the power of this trend. The current price is just floating way above all of its key moving averages. You can think of those like historical trend lines, and when a price gets this far above them, that's a classic textbook signal of an extremely powerful uptrend.
And you know what? It's not just one signal pointing this way. We've got a whole bunch of other indicators that are all confirming this trend. You've got the ADX, which measures trend strength. It's super high. The Arun indicator, which is great for spotting new trends. It's maxed out on the up signal. And then there's the Parabolic SAR, which helps find reversals. Well, it's still firmly on the side of the bulls. Basically, the entire technical dashboard is just flashing bright green. Okay, but this is where the story gets really complicated. Because for every single green light telling the bulls to go, there's a big old warning light flashing just as brightly, kind of hinting that maybe, just maybe, this incredible run is on borrowed time.
Now, to really get the other side of this coin, we have to talk about a specific term, overbought. It's basically a condition where the buying has just been so aggressive that the stock is seen as totally stretched out and really vulnerable to a sharp reversal.
And folks, this right here is Exhibit A for the bear case. We're looking at the RSI, the Relative Strength Index. It's a key momentum indicator. Now, for a little context, anything over 70 is already considered overbought. So a reading over 94, well, that's not just a red flag. It's a screaming siren that the buying frenzy, the one often fueled by FOMO, has hit a totally extreme level.
Next up, the CCI, or Commodity Channel Index. And guess what? It's telling a very similar story. This one measures how far the price has wandered away from its statistical average. Anything over 100 usually means it's overbought. So, a reading of over 376? Wow, that just shows you how far and how fast this price has shot into what looks like a really unsustainable zone.
And finally, let's look at the Money Flow Index, or MFI. It's kind of like the RSI we just saw, but it also includes trading volume in its calculation, which is pretty important. So, a crazy high reading like this tells us that not only is the price momentum extreme, but the actual volume of money pouring in is also at a peak. It's yet another sign that the fuel for this rocket might be getting dangerously low.
And this slide, wow, this just illustrates the tension perfectly. See, the stock's own statistical trend line, based on its recent history, says the price should be around 53 cents. But the fact that it's actually trading 257% higher than that, it just shows you how completely detached it's become from its own logical path.
So what do we have? We've got what looks like unstoppable momentum on one side, and these extreme, flashing red, overbought conditions on the other. And that, my friends, sets the stage for a classic high-stakes tug-of-war between the bulls and the bears.
And these numbers right here, these are the key battlegrounds.
Think of resistance levels as the ceilings the bulls have to smash through to keep this party going, and the support levels are the floors that the bears need to break to send this thing tumbling down. Whatever happens next, it's probably going to be decided right at these specific price levels.
So, based on those key levels, the report boils it down to 3 potential scenarios. Scenario 1, the bulls win. They punch through that resistance and just keep climbing. Scenario 2, the bears take over. They break through support and we see a sharp sell-off. And scenario 3 is basically a stalemate. The stock just chops back and forth in a really volatile range while the two sides battle it out for control.
All right, so after all that, how does this all come together? What's the final takeaway? I mean, when you have so many powerful signals that are completely contradicting each other, what is the real message from this deep dive?
Well, the most crucial point is this direct warning, pulled straight from the report. It says that despite all that incredible momentum, the analysis ultimately ends with a call for extreme caution. It's highlighting the massive risk and the speculative frenzy that's driving this whole thing.
And that leaves us with one final big question to think about. When a stock's momentum completely defies its own fundamentals like this, how do you tell the difference between an incredible opportunity and a cliff edge? Because in a situation this extreme, that line can become razor thin.